This is Alex Conley using his Neuralink to control this robot arm by only using his thoughts. He's the first person in the world to participate in Neuralink's Convoy study, a human trial that allows a paralyzed individual to control an assistive robotic arm telepathically. He is also the second person to ever get a Neuralink implant at all. The Neuralink reads his brain signals and then determines exactly where he wants to move his arm. He is one of the brave pioneers of this historic technology, and in this episode, he shares details that can't be found anywhere else. He shows how the Neuralink team achieves precise control by fine-tuning the arm based on decoding his real-time brain signals. He also explains how Neuralink is improving as fast as possible, while balancing safety and giving patients the ability to define the physical limits of the arm.
So this is the calibration for the robotic arm itself. And when you're calibrating that, I imagine my forearm moving in 3D space to the dot that lights up. So you can see how that upper left corner is lit up. I just imagine moving my arm up and left to that dot and then back to center. So they take that neural snapshot of me going to the dot, stopping, resting, and then back to the center, and then stopping and resting. And that's how they create the first model.
We first start out with him discussing his passion for designing gadgets on his computer, and then get into more specifics of how he uses the Neuralink. Timestamps are included to help with the viewing. If you like our conversation, please subscribe and share it with a friend.
So I've been working on a presentation for the local high school. I've been helped them with they bought a CNC Plas table, and the teacher wanted like a step-by-step instruction on going from nothing, creating your sign, making your sketches. So I've made a whole presentation.
Nice.
It goes through, tells you where to start, every step, and then you get into the manufacturer side. How to get it cut out. Yeah. Fun things like that.
Yeah, super cool. Cool that you're able to create the presentation at all, you know?
Yep.
How long did it take for you to put that together?
It's been taking me, I'd say, at least 2.5 weeks to get it kind of the layout that I wanted, and trying to decide. There's lots of different weird things about, like, so see, like on an A, this piece would drop out. If you just cut it out of metal, this piece would be gone. So you have to go back in and add this little filler strip to hold that center. There's a lot of weird little things that it's like trying to find the right things to include.
Gotcha.
And make it simple. So if somebody wanted to write, I don't know, a bigger word with different letters, they gotta kind of change up how they do it, like a zero or a circle. They want the center to stay in.
For sure.
Yep.
Do you use like a lot of the AI tools? Like,
not really. I use ChatGPT quite a bit. I haven't really dove into Grok yet, but
okay. So I don't really have like a hardcore civil engineering background, but I did study it for undergrad, and so I have like a decent amount of experience with CAD, and like especially AutoCAD, and then a little bit of like some of the mechanical engineering classes that I took had like SolidWorks or
a lot of people talk about SolidWorks, and I've kind of been curious about trying it, but Fusion, it seems like, and this is going to sound weird, like I'd never messed with any CAD modeling anything until last July.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. A lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I've been working on that bed that you've seen, or the pickup bed.
Yeah.
So like that's a hay bale, and this is a toy for my nephew, and my neighbor wants one as well.
Okay.
Missed one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sweet that you can. I mean, this type of task, I feel like is really nice if you like get in the zone. There's no better feeling than like feeling like you got what you wanted from your mind out into this project.
Yeah,
You know,
like creating joints and all that to make it functional. That was so satisfying.
like yeah.
And like these little loops will be like for rubber bands. If you wanted to like strap the bale down, you could stretch a rubber band from this end to the other side of the bed.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I've been working on trying to get a good picture of. So I pretty much 3D modeled our whole shop here at the house.
You made each of these components?
Yes.
Wow, that's badass.
And this was on the road to Phoenix in last spring. Uh, but trying to, it's like getting better at making each component separately to where oh, too far. There's kind of certain things with the Neuralink that are easy. And there's certain things that like zoom whenever it goes too far like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get back out of it, like because I don't have any reference.
Oh, gotcha.
So you can't see if you're making it better or worse.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, lots of tools in the shop.
I guess one of the reasons that I brought up the AI stuff is I'm thinking in the future, I mean, probably very soon, we could just like take a picture of a room and then have it be represented in a 3D model in CAD.
Yeah, I've seen all the cool stuff with the LiDAR scanning with iPhones. That looks very interesting to me.
I mean, like, I realize how long some of the like just building a simple like table like that where
Yep.
you have the details and the clamp, like
Yep.
that can take days even for me with my hands and mouse and all that. So
See, I keep seeing all these fancy CAD mouses, and I really wish I could use one.
oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, just simple joints that make it so much fun to use. Oh, there
There
it
we
went.
go. Have you talked with the Neuralink team about the Zoom?
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
difficult because, like I said, your feedback, if you're making it worse,
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a platform issue than
Yeah.
a Neuralink issue.
So I use my chair as a backup. My chair has Bluetooth,
Okay.
so I'm able to zoom and use it as a mouse.
Oh, wow, cool. And then I saw on the right side of your screen you had like the 3D printer going. You have a live feed of that?
I do. It's actually printing one of those beds.
Nice.
I've been looking at getting the H2C. I've just recently figured out that you can use purple or like a PLA in between your PETG to make your supports break off easier.
Okay. I don't have a ton of 3D printing experience. Can you define some of those terms?
So, like PETG and PLA are just types of filament, and so PLA and PETG don't adhere to each other very well. They'll stick, but as far as like being tough, it's not. So it's perfect for when you're putting like an overhang, it needs a support for that filament to lay on while it's getting its first layer done. So like up on this.
Are you using AI to ask health questions in the middle of the night? Are you getting generic answers? Or even worse, a flood of confusing possibilities? Me too. Today's sponsor, Linkachart, an ultra-personalized health AI app, pulls together your medical records, lab tests, and data from wearables, then adds that context when you ask AI a question. Instead of vague advice, you get ultra-personalized answers, like what are the best supplements for you, what's worsening your back pain, or even how to improve your brain health. It makes your health questions easier, smarter, and personal. Do me a favor and click the link in the description to pre-order Linkachart for free. No credit card required. Thanks.
So these trees will all get broken off, and then you're left with the bed. But where these trees meet the actual part, there's one layer of PLA filament that separates it, so that way it'll just break off really easily.
Cool.
So if you just used PETG for everything, the supports stick, like they actually adhere. So it's a lot tougher to get the support to break off.
Nice. Even just one layer, huh, is good enough?
Yep, that's what you need.
Nice.
Because you just want that line of separation. So
And it gets extruded from like a similar point?
Yeah, so this Bamboo Lab has multiple. It's got four. I have 4 slots on the AMS. It has one nozzle in the printer, and it can say it's doing all the black. Well, whenever it wants the purple, it will retract black out of the nozzle and then feed the purple into the nozzle, squeeze out all the black, and then go print its purple layer, and then go transfer back. So you can see the little purple lines separation.
Okay.
Kind of.
Yeah, I gotta brighten my screen, but okay.
But they make it so easy. Like, I mean, their software is very nice to use. Hey, Lacey, you want to answer that? It's Dylan.
What?
Yeah, talk to Dylan. So talk to him about, hey,
Why did you put that down?
but just tell him you don't need it then. Sorry.
That's okay. Fusion is part of Autodesk?
Yes.
Nice. I guess before we keep going, I want to make sure that how much time do you have?
I'm good. I'm good for all afternoon.
Okay. And then do you have like your family as caretakers?
Yep.
Nice.
There's
Alex, how long is your meeting?
it's probably gonna be like 2.5, 3 hours. That about right, Ryan?
Yeah, we can definitely shorten it if need be.
3 hours.
So we're, like I said, we're should be good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, let's I mean, these are crazy that you're able to build all these.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
done, whatever.
But like
Just give him a call.
ChatGPT, that I have I have that RC box that allows me to fly the plane. So
okay.
there's a guy named I think it's Fred. Anyway, he's got a channel on YouTube. It's called Assistive Technology Devices. Assistive Tech Stuff. That's his channel. And he's only got like 4 videos, but it's a video of him using the quad stick to control just an RC truck, like a car.
Yeah.
And so I got the stuff together, had my family, we figured out how to get the Arduino to power up. It's like the instructions, when you get it, you'd think it'd just be ready. Well, it's not. You have to do some soldering to either tell it it's a 3.3 volt board or a 5-volt board. We finally figured that out. Stacked it all together, got the host shield on top of the Uno, and then I have a buddy that is really big into like telecommunications, and he does all my internet stuff and everything out here. And he came by, and we finally went through, I downloaded the Arduino IDE and got all the necessary libraries to make the host shield talk to the Uno and take the input from the quad stick, convert that to the necessary PPM signal, that the multi-module that sends the transmitted PPM signal to the truck. We finally got all that working, and then it's just a long list of little things you got to do to get to work. We
Yeah.
finally got it to work, and I was like, man, this is so satisfying.
I bet. Yeah.
It was nuts.
It's more fulfilling when it requires that extra step, those extra
Yeah.
steps.
It was, like I said, I've got a little rock crawler RC truck that it goes slow. I mean, it's not real fast, probably like 5 mile an hour, some 10, but you can go really slow and crawl over things, and it looks really realistic.
Cool. Yeah, that's fun. Those, I mean, even the RC planes too, and the
So
cars.
I was watching Cletus McFarland on YouTube, but they were flying RC planes, and I was like, I think I can get it to work.
Yeah.
And talked to the Neuralink guys, and they suggested using ChatGPT to help. So I just uploaded all my RC truck code into ChatGPT. It analyzed it and was like, do you want to simplify this and make this easier? I was like, yeah, show me what we need to do. And they blocked it all up, and like, you need to do this, this, and this. And then I just started adding, all right, it's like, I need this button to increase the throttle on the plane. I need this button to decrease the throttle. And I put it in there like I needed to increase or decrease by like 20%. So each time I click that button, it's going to ramp the throttle up or down and hold that value. So I don't have to sit there and hold the throttle as I'm going.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. It's almost like I guess for people, it is more of like, instead of holding down shift, it's like you got to press caps lock and then just wait,
exactly.
and then press caps lock again.
Yep. And then so the plane has landing gear. So I have to program a button in to let the landing gear down or fold the landing gear up. And then, so the first couple times we flew the main video, it didn't have a, they call it safe, which is like a gimbal inside or a gyro. And that gyro, if you have no input, all it does is try to keep the plane level.
Okay.
So it takes control of the servos to make the gyro happy, to keep it flat. And
Wow.
so after I crashed it the first time, I ordered the gyro and we got it installed, and it keeps the plane level now.
Wow.
I have another video in my stash that I haven't showed yet. It's a pretty spectacular crash.
Maybe you could show that today.
The flight didn't go very long, but the camera guys were up from Phoenix, and they had their drone in midair, was going to video this. Well, I got the plane already. It's a smaller plane, and it has the gyro in it. My uncle launched it, and midair collision with the drone.
Wow.
Yeah, they were not in a good spot.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to see that.
Okay, we might. We got the plane fixed. I just got to get it back out, and I was wanting to do like a montage with both videos in one
Okay.
type of thing.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that'd be cool too. Okay, let's see. Like so disorganized. Okay,
Sorry.
I should play some of these. No, it's okay.
This was actually before surgery. Jake's cool. Do you know Jake?
I don't know Jake.
It's Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Fractured C4 and C5 in my spinal cord, and it was diagnosed as a complete spinal cord injury. I feel kind of honored that they picked me to do the robotic arm. There's so many people that don't have the support system that I've got, the people that I've got. I know even just a robotic arm sitting on the side of their chair, just another step toward being independent.
We used to see spinal cord injured patients come in, we would operate and stabilize their necks, and then we would send them on their way to rehab, and that was the end. There was nothing more we could do for them. One of the reasons I'm so excited about Neuralink is that we can tell patients, finally, there's something more we can do for you. With patient one, we gave him his digital autonomy, things that allowed him to interact with his computer. With patient two, we went one step further. We gave him all that, but now, in addition, he can drive a robotic arm that lets him turn on a light switch, open a door, or move something that's ahead of him.
That was my favorite part of the accident. I was very mechanical and hands-on, and
but now, in addition, that lets him.
Sorry, I can't like distinguish when you're talking versus the video.
a little bit more.
But this part?
Yeah, playing with a vice. Yep.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I love vices and animals.
This is what you were working with before
Yeah,
injury?
like you can see the anvil in the background.
Yep.
There's like me and my uncle, they cut up a big chunk of hedge wood, and we squared it off, like milled it, so it's a giant square, and it probably weighs, the piece of wood probably weighs 150, 160 pounds. Yeah, it's heavy. Then you put the anvil on top. It's, I don't know, just cool design features that I really like. That wood cabinet I built in the background in high school.
Gotcha. Did you?
Lot
So you
of
grew
time-
up in. Sorry.
You're good. A lot of time spent in that shop.
So this is where you grew up, and you grew up in Kansas.
Yep.
And did you end up starting working with all this in high school and then
Yeah, I went to college out
Okay.
in Pratt, Western Kansas, in Pratt
Okay.
for automotive technology. And I've got my associates in automotive technology. And I worked at a John Deere dealership out there while I was going to college.
Okay, nice. And after college, you continued like working with your hands, working on
Yep.
cars.
Yeah, worked at, like I said, John Deere dealerships, and we built barns and stuff for people, big metal frame barns.
Okay, nice. Okay, I'm gonna play.
Before the accident, I was very mechanical and hands-on, and building parts and fixing things was pretty much my whole life. But then the accident happened and kind of took all that away. Wasn't able to express myself the way I usually could.
This is a straightforward procedure. They get their surgery in the morning, they're observed overnight, they go home the next morning.
Barrow has been incredible, and very thankful that I was allowed to do this and be a part of this journey.
The Convoy team is the team at Neuralink that's working on assistive robotic devices controlled by the brain implant, physical devices in the real world. You just think about, I'm going to take my arm and move left. I'm going to take my arm and move right. And from that, we issue commands to the robot that then does inverse kinematics and math to make that motion happen.
Imagine a world where we restore the things that were lost.
We start with an open loop calibration where we have a virtual task on the computer screens. And those virtual sessions are like practice and training sessions. We do a lot of them sort of day after day after day.
If you want to back it up a little bit, back it up to that cube, the cube section. A little more. Where'd it go? Keep going. Keep going. Okay, so right there. So this is the calibration for the robotic arm itself. And when you're calibrating that, I imagine my forearm moving in 3D space to the dot that lights up. So you can see how that upper left corner is lit up. I just imagine moving my arm up and left to that dot and then back to center. So they take that neural snapshot of me going to the dot, stopping, resting, and then back to the center, and then stopping and resting. And that's how they create the first model.
It's so cool. The thing that's attached to your laptop on the right side, is that a camera watching your eyes?
Which one? The left or right?
The right side. I don't know if that's a camera or this.
Oh, that was a mic. That's a mic for mic for the film crew. Put a mic there.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
No, this my laptop mount is a RAM laptop mount. It's made for like in a truck or in a service truck, and you can tighten that arm there on the side. So when I tip back in the van, the laptop screen doesn't shut.
I see.
Yeah, that was a real savior.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet that they're able to understand that your brain wants to do all these, or you want to move.
Yeah,
in this way.
And it's crazy how much it's kind of evolved just from the first time we tried it, and the graphics get better. Like the arm looks more realistic. There's just lots of little things. So there's a cube up in the upper right corner, and it's identical to Fusion 360. So you can click and drag that cube to whatever view you want. Like, so you change the perspective of it and calibrate, and it actually operates different. It's kind of weird. Just your mind interpreting that different view, it changes how the robotic arm reacts.
A quick moment to talk about another Neuralink ALS patient, Brad, losing his voice and then regaining it via a voice clone from 11 Labs.
Hi, I am Brad Smith. I'm the third person in the world to receive the Neuralink brain implant. I'm also the first person with ALS and the first nonverbal. This is my old voice narrating this video, cloned by AI from recordings before I lost my voice.
As you can tell, the voice is quite realistic, and the AI models continue improving. They specifically have a program for people with ALS where they'll likely be eligible for free access through the 11 Labs Impact program. I've left a link down in the description. Thanks, and back to the episode.
I remember that was one of the first things when I talked to Nolan. I thought, oh, that's kind of peculiar that when he's sitting in a specific orientation away from his computer, trying to control the Neuralink or the cursor, then he like moves or he's lying down or he just changes his orientation, then he has to kind of like recalibrate.
Yeah, so you can, it's kind of like, have you ever heard of the backward bicycles where the steering is inverted?
No, I haven't.
So there's a bike there that when you turn left, it actually turns the wheel right. And it's kind of like that. Everybody learns how to ride a bike, and then your mind has to kind of try and recalibrate itself to learn left is right and right is left. Well, you do that for so long, and then you go back to the other bike, and you have to redo it again. It's very interesting. There's a, Smarter Every Day, Destin. He's got a YouTube channel, but he had a episode on the backward bike, and it took him like I want to say it was like a month, but he'd like try every day, and he finally got it. But his son, he learned it in like 2 weeks. His son was a lot faster at figuring it out.
Oh, these darn kids and their neuroplasticity.
Yeah, I miss it.
I miss it so much. I felt like I was a genius kid, and every year I get dumber and dumber.
Yeah, it's like when grandma would get a new computer. It's like felt like a king. It's like, oh sweet, I can help grandma set her new computer up. It's like I'm like a genius. I can plug this in and turn it on.
Yeah. I wonder, like in the future, when there are more users or more participants in the Convoy study and more users of Neuralink in general, but especially for controlling a physical robotic assistive arm, if they're going to be able to use all of the data from everybody's training, and then, this is going to massively improve the amount of control that people have.
I think that's a very true statement. I feel like with anything, it's usually the more data you get, the better representation of what needs to happen. I feel like I'm excited. Very excited. I can't wait. I really hope they let me have it free reign.
Sure.
Because we went to my nephew's. He had national robotics, and it was in Iowa. And I was rolling around there with my laptop, and it's like, I feel like a lot of people would look if I had a robotic arm sitting on the side of my chair.
Nice. You're like psychic.
Exactly.
All right, I'll keep playing and then keep doing what you're doing. Like if there's something you want to talk about, go for it.
Task
Okay.
on the computer screens, and those virtual sessions are like practice and training sessions, sort of day after day.
All right. So this is their safety measures.
Okay.
So they can set up these different zones that represent like me. So like the top rectangle is my head zone. So they have like the absolute stop. So like if the robot arm, that yellow dot, if it senses the yellow dot or the arm itself getting close to that zone, it will stop on like hard stop. But then I have also the slow zone. So it'll like if it gets within like 2 or 3 inches, it will reduce the speed of the robot by like half. So it's a lot smaller or slower to be safer. So if I'm holding like a spoon, it gets close and then it'll slow way down. And it's this UI that they designed here, it works much better this time. Like before, the zones were so cumbersome and hard to set up. So it was like, all right, is the robot in a zone that it shouldn't be? It was kind of frustrating. So Sean, he actually helped engineer Fusion. Like he was on the design team for Fusion 360, I guess. He's a wicked smart guy, and I would like talk to him and tell him things that I liked about Fusion, and he was so fun to talk to. And then I feel like he was a lot smarter than I was, because eventually he would start talking over my head. I'd be like, yep. But yeah, everybody on that team is super nice, and yeah, it's been a joy working with them.
Sweet. Yeah. This is, I mean, it seems so obvious, and I feel like the best solutions are always that way, where in hindsight, it's like, of course that was the way to go. But it makes a lot of sense that that's how they did it.
It's all about the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to clarify, the Neuralink team designated those specific zones, and they created, like, drew them.
So
and then you just approved them, kind of.
They want this to where they wanted to get this to where you could, like, the user would be able to set up these zones themselves. So whenever you got a robot, you got a robotic arm, the user could set this up.
Cool. So these you set up.
Yeah, they were wanted to where, like, say if something changed on your chair, like I've got my phone, like if we move the position of my phone, or if I'm sitting in the chair a little different, we can move the zone to accommodate that.
Awesome.
Day after day, to make the models better and better, and to get Alex familiar with the process that we're using. And over time, he gets really familiar with all the numbers and really familiar with all the terms, to the point where he's suggesting things that we didn't think of ourselves that are great suggestions. We spend a night retraining models. We spend a night working on the robot software and a little bit of the hardware even.
They got back the next morning, and it was remarkable how much they changed overnight. It worked 10 times better than it did the day before. I honestly thought it would take longer to get the level of control that I've gotten. The amount of effort that those guys put in it's leaps and bounds above what I expected. It's a really good feeling seeing what that thing's capable of.
It's been fantastic to work with him. We really appreciate the time and effort that he and his family have allowed us here. Alex is super patient and super focused, and obviously super smart, and really, like, couldn't ask for a better person to work with.
I strive to inspire other people to hopefully reach for new opportunities that are out there.
So eventually we want to have our participants operating this arm in their daily life in a useful way without us there. I'm hoping that it can eliminate the need for help. Like, I'm hoping that when the arm comes out in its first iteration, what it can do is demonstrably make someone's life better by giving them more independence.
Most of us take for granted our ability to interact with the physical world. With this technology, we're giving that back to the patients.
It just makes me feel empowered, and makes me feel like I can do something myself and not rely on others.
Together with Neuralink, we're pioneering the future of brain-computer interface.
You would be surprised how much I played with that plane when I was a kid.
Oh, the one at the end?
Yep. We went to the Dwight D. Eisenhower Museum in Abilene, when I was in the 3rd grade, and I bought that plane and a P-38 plane at the museum. Mom gave me like, I think, $30 or $40, and those were like 18 a piece, and I was like, yep, those are what I want. Yeah.
So cool.
It was a joy playing with it.
How old are you now?
I am 31.
Oh, nice. I am too. I mean, right now you don't have control of the assistive robotic arm, right? Like the team brings it in and then you work on it and then brings it out.
Correct. Yep. I've had it 3 times now, or they've brought it to me 3 times, and each time it seems like it gets better and better. It's like
And
that
the first time was around.
The first time was February or January. It was cold.
Oh, wow.
Extremely cold. They came and it was like ice and snow outside. I felt bad. So there's the 3D printer in the background there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. So you got 4 spools up top, and that's how it changes.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, and the switch there on the right by my head, that's the e-stop. So if the robot arm is doing something that I don't want it to do and need it to stop, I just whack that with my head, and the robot will shut down.
Gotcha. What's on your screen?
So that is that's kind of like the UI or the HID, heads up display, HUD. Yeah. And it tells me, so they show the value of, say, that joystick, like the value of the left or right joystick, or left joystick up and down. So those bars are showing my intended motions, and they can increase or decrease the dead zone, gravity, or speed of each bar, if that makes sense. So they are this is where they alter the parameters of the model. So say like my link show mixer. I may not want to do it. So this right here is the mixer. That's where we change our speed, friction, smooth, all these different settings. That is pretty much what is on my screen there. Is it still showing my screen?
No, I'm trying to pull it up.
There.
Okay, there we go.
So yeah, this is our mixer, and this is where it allows us to do all of those corrections to our model.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think, like, for the Neuralink cursor movement, I can understand why these would be helpful. I'm thinking for controlling the assistive robotic arm.
It acts very similar. So say that robotic arm pretty much has 1, 2, 3 different mouse models that are active at one time to move in 3D space.
Okay.
So you have table. This is what we called them, was table plane, mirror plane, and then wall. So you got flat, front wall, and side wall. So you pretty much need those 3 match. That's how we calibrated it. So your initial model, like starting from complete scratch, that's how they train the model, is they have a ball on the table moving in 8 different directions, forward, back, left, right, and then diagonal on the table. Then they move it to mirror. So you have a ball in the center, up, down, left, right, and diagonal in all those. Then they have the side wall. So like the wall beside you, and then all those 8 directions there. So you have all those imagined motions. Then they tie all 3 of them together and give you your first closed loop model. I really wish I could go through it, but I don't think I can. It's not on my list or my Neuralink list. They have to set up each calibration separately. So if you're doing gaming or robotic arm or hand typing,
I see.
I really wish they had all of that listed so I could show you.
That's okay. I think I conceptually understand based on just like what's showing on the screen here. I guess I was initially confused because I'm wondering like how it would be helpful to do some of that calibration, but I think now it kind of makes sense because you just need to literally like understand what your brain wants to do. Otherwise, I mean, I was initially thinking like, oh, it's like a joystick and you have defined inputs. So there's really no need for true calibration. Like it's already calibrated at all times, but
so it kind of changes. That's what,
yeah.
So like over time, like a couple days, 3 days, your model will slightly start to degrade by either clicks are too far out of parameters. So like either a click will be really hard and you can turn it all the way down, but you still cannot get a click to emit. So then you would have to go in and refine your model. So you click refine and it will do a closed loop calibration with the mouse. So you're using your existing movement and clicks going through hitting targets. And then within like 5 minutes of that, they will then give you a closed loop model just based off what it took in that first 5 minutes. And it will throw away like the model before that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that's consistently better than like trying to
restart from scratch.
Gotcha.
And it's a little more enjoyable. They try to make it as engaging as possible. So like the starting from scratch, it's not very fun because you're just imagining you don't see any movement in it. They do a good job in making it enjoyable.
Okay. Let's see if this is only 19 seconds, so I'll play this, and then if there's something specific, then let's stop it.
So right in here, if you go back a little bit, it was difficult because my chair had to be kind of the way we had to position it. My visual feedback was very lacking. So I couldn't exactly see where the claw was or how it was grabbing the pretzel. So everybody was like, well, just grab it, you got it. And it's like, I can't really see. It's like I can't tell because I don't have that sensory feedback of either muscle movement or touch. I couldn't tell how grasped the claw was or where it was. So I think in the future they're trying to get a claw with a camera so we could have the camera on the screen and actually see through the screen.
I feel like having tactile sensors on the end of the arm would be like insanely good that'd be more helpful than a camera, right?
Yeah, that's just trying to relay that sensory back into my brain would be fun, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, interesting. It's okay.
It's stuff you don't really think about.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Okay, I'll play.
So you can see the bars moving in that last little shot. All right, so watch the bars on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's kind of... Let's slow that down. Yeah.
And they can also like change the rate at which it accelerates. So instead of being like we had to, I think they slowed that down to where it was really jerky. Like it was jumping. It was kind of hard to pinpoint, have really nice pinpoint control. So they changed that where it would kind of ramp instead of just darting up to that velocity. And it made it feel way more intuitive and realistic.
I guess this gets to something that I thought was really great that Astro Danish talked about, which is like the lag time is basically nothing.
Yeah, it's very, like I said, I don't feel a lag. It's very responsive and adaptive. It's like I said, I don't notice a lag, which is crazy to think that Bluetooth from my head to the computer, then to the computer, to the robotic arm, to the servos. It's kind of crazy the path that it takes. And it's still that fast.
Because it's like, I guess there's one thing to be like too jerky, but it's another to, it's like slightly different that you're able to think about it and there's no latency. So it's like, it could still be jerky even with a lot of latency.
Yeah.
But it's cool that now they fixed both.
Yeah. And it's like, so sometimes like if my laptop connects to, it's either my phone or my other computer, I'll notice the mouse. It's late. The Bluetooth lag will catch up, but it's mainly just because there's too many Bluetooth devices on my computer. So other than that, I never notice latency.
In your day-to-day with like your friends and family and then even strangers, do you feel like this is the sentiment that most people have?
Maybe not evil. They don't know. A lot of people that I talk to, like I'll ask them, have you heard of Neuralink? And then they'll be like, yeah, I think so. And then I'll go into a little more detail. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, I heard of that. So everybody in my day-to-day life they're very supportive and enthusiastic about what I'm doing. And the only place I see really the evil megacorp is in comments.
Sure.
I try and think of funny responses to them.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. It's kind of it's fun that you're kind of that way, and then Nolan's that way, Brad's that
Yeah.
way, I'm kind of that way.
It's like they don't really grasp what it's like to lay in a bed and not be able to move, and how much that just robs you of everything, and the amount of freedom and enjoyment that Neuralink has given all of us is worth every dime, every ounce of knowledge and everything that they've thrown together. It's makes it all worth it.
Can you share how you first got your injury?
So I was in a vehicle accident. I was a passenger in a car, and me and a buddy, we were driving, and we rolled over, and we both got ejected. And it was, like I said, just kind of shattering news. That got to the hospital and woke up and I can't remember what they call it. I had a tube down my throat to breathe. I was on a vent, and that's like the worst 5-6 days. That sucks. Having your mouth open 24/7 for 6 days.
How many years ago was it?
That was February, late January of 21.
Yeah, it was so tough. And that was in Kansas. Like you
Yep.
grew up there and have lived there your whole life.
Yep.
What was your mindset and attitude about life prior to the accident, and then shortly after, and then also like nowadays?
I really enjoyed helping people and fixing problems. Like I was pretty much my day-to-day was fixing other people's problems and helping. And then after the accident, it seemed like everybody had to help me. Didn't really know how to take that. And now that I've gotten to be able to use Fusion, and that's pretty much my outlet now, is to help people that way. Parts, being able to design and build parts that people need. It's crazy the amount of useful things that you can design. Like my uncle has a tool that he bought from Harbor Freight, and it quit working, and he took it apart, and there's a little plastic coupler that connects the motor to the bit, and it shattered that plastic piece. And he called Harbor Freight, and they did not offer that part. I was like, Jeff, if you give me some measurements, I can print that. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So he gave me the measurements. I printed it up, popped it together, works fine.
Nice.
It's very rewarding.
Prior to the surgery, like you're saying with this video at Barrow, like some of it was before the surgery. What was your mindset leading up to getting the surgery after you had found out that you were going to be patient number 2?
It was crazy how fast they responded. I submitted it, and I think it was within like a couple of days that they got back with me and was like, we're very interested. Can we come out and do a internet or a home audit or home judge? Can't remember what they called it, but they came out and wanted to meet me, test the internet, and just kind of meet me. And they came out, and we actually live in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Kansas, and we have fiber optic at our house, so that was a big plus. And they met me and was like, oh, we'll be in touch, and they let me know. It's like, okay, we need you to come down to Phoenix and do a physical help, like kind of the judgment to make sure that my skull was the right thickness, things like that. Did a bunch of CT and MRIs and all that, and so we drove that. It's like 1,100 miles to Phoenix from here, and we drove down there just for the test. Drove back, and within another couple days, we're like, when can we get you in? And I think we drove down in June, and in July 12th, we got the surgery. It's very
That's
fast.
And how long did it take for you to turn on the device afterwards?
They wanted to keep me still longer to try and prevent retraction of the leads. So they went like 12 hours with micro turns, which they barely move you, and they kind of kept me out of it, coming out of being asleep. What's that A word?
Anesthesia, like
Yes, coming out of anesthesia.
Okay.
So I don't know if they gave me more or just extended it, but I was kind of out of it for a while.
Okay.
They kept asking me the same questions, like, why do you guys keep asking me this?
Okay.
One of them was like, what color did you paint your track chair? I'm like, it's John Deere green, of course. Why?
And I guess mentally preparing yourself for the surgery, was it a non-consideration, or were you thinking like, oh, I'm going into brain surgery? How was your family feeling?
It didn't bother me.
Okay.
Like I said, it's probably one of my better decisions.
Yeah. Okay. And how did your family feel about it? Like they're like all gung ho about it?
I think they were a little unsure. I'm one of those people that's all in, head first type of thing, and I just think they were a little unsure what exactly it was and what it was capable of, and I think they're all happy now.
And were you familiar with, like, how long prior were you familiar with Neuralink and Elon's world and
So
details of the tech?
I remember I was sitting at the shop that I was working at, and when I seen the monkey video, the first Pong monkey video, I was like, that is legit. Thought it was really cool, and I was like, man, I feel like that's going to help some people. Didn't really realize it was going to be me.
Yeah. Well, that was in April 2021, and then you got your injury later that year, or February 21. Is that what you said?
No, the first it was before my accident that I seen the monkey one.
Okay.
I thought it was 2019, or because the monkey was playing with the joystick, and then it showed him without the joystick. I could have swore that was before my accident.
Okay. Yeah, it might have been 2020. I'm trying to relive it. But
I did. I thought that was like, that's cool.
I know it's kind of a moot point, but I'm trying to get my own timeline so your injury was
Late January of 21.
Okay.
So did you used to work at Neuralink?
No, I haven't. I interned at Tesla in college, and then after that, just finished grad school and then started the podcast. I started the podcast because I saw I was already plugged into Elon's world, and I was really into what he's doing with Tesla, and I saw he's really serious about Neuralink, like I watched a Joe Rogan interview with him talking about Neuralink, and then I had seen the original presentation where they talked about helping people with brain injuries. And although I never studied biomedical engineering or anything related to medicine, I always thought like, wow, it's so impactful for anybody that's in the medical or health related field. If they can impact people in a really positive way, then like the impact is really deep, because it doesn't just affect that person, it affects everybody around them.
Yeah.
And then after I saw the Joe Rogan interview and then also read the article by Tim Urban, have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen that.
So he writes this blog called Wait But Why. And actually I should pull it up because I kind of want to like endorse them a little bit. This is such a fantastic article.
This is kind of off topic, but I would really love to go on Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Nice. Yeah, put it out into the world. I think he's fantastic. I've consumed more of his stuff recently, and he's so freaking funny.
Oh my god. I feel like me and him would hit it off. It's like just a country guy from the South, and I feel like we'd get along.
Yeah, I think you would. He's so funny, and he seems so like genuine too.
Yeah, just chill.
Yeah. So this article is by Tim Urban. You can see from just the scroll wheel, it's like super lengthy, but it breaks down Neuralink in a super simple way. It basically goes through the history, talking about how like language was not originally a thing. Humans started out with just being, like evolution started out with a sponge and then jellyfish. So anyway, this thing is super simple and easy to understand, but it got me really excited about Neuralink, and I thought, man, like there needs to be somebody that's covering the news and updates about it. So that's how it started.
That's all it is. Just got to start the first domino.
Yeah. And fortunately, like at the beginning, I was just looking at everything that was publicly available, and trying to like put it all together, and then
that's all it is.
Yep. And then now, like, I get pointed in the right direction to find stuff. People will send me stuff, and it's just so great to be able to like talk to all of you. Like being able to know people who this technology has affected them positively and their families. It's so cool.
I had an idea. It's a kind of a bigger idea. I don't know if there is, but like a dedicated website for quadriplegics, like just anything and everything, like grants, assistive tech, quad sticks, like wedges. Mom and I found certain wedges for turning, like to prevent bed sores. There's all sorts of wedges out there, but we found this medical company that's got really nice wedges. My brother's girlfriend found me. Have you ever heard of hands-free flossing?
No.
So, hey, Lacey, grab one. Would you grab me one of my floss deals? It's legit. So
hands-free flossing?
Yes. So, with your hands, you could floss with like one of those banjo toothpicks.
Yeah.
Okay. So before these, my mom would hold that and I would work that thing through all my teeth.
Gotcha.
Like pushing it in, moving it. Can you see it? You might have to hold it closer to the camera.
You already put it in your mouth.
Bring it closer. You see it?
Okay.
Turn it sideways.
Yeah.
There's a string in there.
Okay.
And I can move that through all my teeth.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's all right.
Okay.
But yeah, I can work that and bend it and twist it and get in between all my teeth by myself.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Weird, just weird little tricks like that that you don't really think about. And I feel like if there was just this website that had all this stuff listed, links, I don't know. I feel like it would be a very, very useful information that way. And like, I have boots that I wear at night to keep my feet from, they call it foot drop, where like your calf muscles will contract more than your front muscle in your feet. Will pretty much just get locked down. And it's like we have nice boots. And have you ever heard of dry needling?
No, I haven't.
All right, so you know what acupuncture is?
Mm-hmm.
Think of acupuncture on steroids.
Okay.
So when your nut muscles get all knotted up and tight.
Yeah.
So they will put a needle in that knot, and then they twist that needle.
Wow.
And your muscle will cling onto that needle and lock onto it pretty much. And then when they pull it out, it releases, and it's like the best release. It's a little painful, so it's like a really hardcore massage. But I had a physical therapist that would drive a needle in my neck and stretch my neck, and it's made my neck so much more mobile, like being able to turn my head.
Wow. And the gauge of the
the gauge of the needle makes a difference. So you can get thicker needles and it hurts worse. But like back when I had my accident, I had a neck brace on, and if they would have just let us like once a week take that off, somebody hold my head and just do light stretches. It's like that little thing right there would have sped up my recovery time of my neck, just my neck, by months. Like the amount of time it took to get just a little bit of movement out of my neck, it took so long because it was so tight and clenched up. That information I feel like needs to get out.
Sure. I'll build a section of my website to have that. I want neurapod.com to be, anything that somebody wants to know about Neuralink that's publicly available, then obviously they could go to Neuralink's website, but there are some things that are not on that website, and I would want like all sorts of questions answered. I already have the page, but anyway.
So do you have you should do like an accomplishment tab in your website to showcase skills, like showcase things that Neuralink patients or
the patients do. Like you guys do.
I would be happy to put stuff on there for you.
Okay. Like obviously this is a pretty shitty version of the site, but I've been working on improving it the last week. I wasn't thinking about having those accomplishments, but that's a great idea. I'll definitely list those.
Because if you could, that way when people get on there and be like, what can Neuralink do? Like, if you could list, it's like uses it for fusion, 3D printing, Adobe Illustrator, it's like Photoshop. I do all those different applications, and like I said, just a spark, something to spark interest in somebody that is just laying in bed. It's like it's very hard to get out of that funk.
Yeah, I do feel like showcasing that utility, that would be really triggering for a lot of people, like triggering in a good way for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Did you ever experience like a mental funk?
Yeah. I feel like no matter who you are, when you're in that situation, you're gonna have periods where it's not a lot of light, and I'm just very grateful and lucky that I've got the people that I do.
How much exposure to Elon and Neuralink did you have before that monkey mind pong video?
I remember, was it like 2013 that he released the Tesla?
The master plan?
It
The
was
master
some,
plan or just Tesla?
I remember when the first Teslas kind of came out. I was like, now I was like, that's smart. It's like an electric vehicle that actually looks good. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, why? I know the Prius was pretty out there for its time, but if they would have made it look good, they would have dominated. And Toyota, the Supra, I mean, if they could have made it look like a Supra, oh my God, they would have had a huge leap in the market. It's all about design. If you can make it appealing, it's going to go better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think
I'm a big Toyota guy. I like Toyotas.
Okay, nice. I do feel like there's a minimum threshold required at least for design. Like it can't be ugly, and like in the case of the Prius, man, it's so off-putting for a lot of people if that's their first experience.
Yeah.
Like, but if their first experience is the Model S Plaid, then like, okay, no matter how much they hate electric vehicles, like
they've got to be like, all right, okay, that does look good.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I thought of the Maserati. Like the big grill with the pitchfork. I was like, I feel like some of the design had to come from them. They look so good.
Yeah. So I guess when you first did you apply as soon as after the monkey mind pong, and then just like,
so I kind of kept up to date with it.
Okay.
And that initial, when they first said that they were open in trials, I filled out like the whole thing. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Started having second guessing and went on, and then I finally seen Nolan's video, that big interview, and watched it through a couple times, and I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. Gave me the confidence, and it was, like I said, I got an email from Fred, the guy that built the quad stick. Do you know much about the quad stick?
Not that much.
All right, so we'll get into that in a second. But anyway, Fred sent me an email, or he sent it out to his Discord. I think it's Discord, where anybody that's signed up will get that email. And I signed up for the Neuralink through his email. And Fred is a great guy, and he's done so much for anybody that's in my position. So this device in front of me is a quad stick. So if you want to Google quad stick, it'll give you like a picture of what it looks like. All right, so the first one there, that first picture is the main quad stick, and it emulates either a mouse and keyboard, Xbox controller, or PlayStation controller, and it can emulate any of those. And you have things called CSV, which is a Google spreadsheet, and you can program any of those buttons to do any button on a controller or a keyboard. And like I could do it myself. So I have this plugged into my Windows right now. I could actually, let me, there. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. So you should be able to click that other big screen. All right.
This one or
So
the
my,
other? Okay.
yep, that's it. So my quad stick is this mouse. See it moving?
Yep.
All right. This is the quad stick manager. It's the programming, pretty much the program platform for the quad stick. It allows me to change all of the settings. It's gotta pick back up. All right. So any game I want to play, it has all these suggested files that everybody's built, and then you can download those and customize them yourself. So this is my War Thunder profile that I use to fly the airplanes. And we feed the Neuralink into the quad stick, into the back. So we'll plug the Mac into the quad stick, and then it will feed the Windows. So this USB 1 is the Neuralink input into the quad stick. So that will run the right joystick, the 4 different directions.
There are limited inputs into the quad stick, right? Like there's I mean basically 3 knobs
So
you can move.
So those are just sip and puff tubes. So you blow in or suck in, blow or suck on those tubes. But you can combine the tubes. So if I blow or sip into, say, the middle and the right tube, that's another button. And then there is a soft sip and a soft puff. So you have 4 buttons per tube.
Gotcha. And
Yep.
also movement left and right and up and down, or no?
Yep. It's all directional. And then there's another button on the lip. So the lip side.
Is there also like move to the right and blow in the right one?
Yes, so you can blow, you can switch anytime. So yeah, I mean you can highlight things.
Yeah, I see.
I can show you War Thunder if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I feel like I'm having difficulty understanding the difference between like what the Neuralink is doing versus what the quad stick is doing.
All right, so the Neuralink is just feeding that joystick motion. So they've got it set up to where when I say quad stick on, it will start emulating a joystick. I can actually show you.
Okay.
I have to log out of that. Gotta let it reconnect. I've been working on a switch to allow me to go from my Mac to the Windows with a little toggle switch on my quad stick. All right. So this is the emulator program. So my computer thinks it's an Xbox controller.
Okay.
So you see the joystick motion.
Mm-hmm.
Link quad stick on. Link quad stick on. All right. So now that's me on the right joystick with the Neuralink.
Okay.
You can see it moving.
Yep.
So I imagine moving the cursor, moving like my cursor up, down, left, and right. And with
Gotcha.
the quad stick, I can program that. And also, so we have 3 buttons set up with the Neuralink. So my left, right, and middle clicks. I can also add those clicks into that profile.
It's crazy. Like I knew that this was the case. Like it's basically like having 2 different joysticks, but I didn't like put 2 and 2 together until you like show the visual, and it's like, okay, this is very clear and obvious. But
It's getting my mind to wrap around when I first got the quad stick. Just trying to get my mind wrapped around how it worked took a while.
okay.
Like it's a lot to take in all at once, especially if you don't have like a gaming background or know much about it. And the simplest way I can kind of explain the quad stick when you first get it, you think of it as like the right tube blowing and sucking in the right tube is R1 and R2. The left tube, L1, L2. And then you start combining. So triangle is right and middle blow. Circle is right and middle suck. And then the left side is square or something like that. But once you understand that simple, normal concept, then you can go and start changing and altering your controller for what game you want to play. So like on like shooting games, usually I set up my center puff is shoot, center suck is either aim down sight or reload, things like that. You can just go in and tweak it however much you want, and then you can make it toggle, repeat, like tap. You can change how it acts in the quad stick itself, like on the sheet. It's very useful. But like I said, you can add, so we have 3 clicks. So I can go in here and change any of these to USB 1. Click, I think it's 5, USB 1, 5, 6, and 7. And then I can use the Neuralink to fire, reload, or whatever. Yeah, it takes a while to get your head wrapped around it in the right direction. So I pretty much have this profile set up where I use every click I can. So that way when I get in the game and so I get in here and I completely wiped all of the controls. So nothing was active. And then I went through and changed all of these to what I wanted. So like my roll axis, which is ailerons, is my Neuralink. So when I roll my wrist left and right, it rolls the plane to match. When I move the quad stick down and up, it will either pitch the plane. So like pulling back on the stick makes your plane go up. Push forward and it will go down. So I use the quad stick for up and down, and then the rudder of the plane to just make it steer left instead of roll. Like I've played around with this, and this is by far the easiest setup. So at first I tried using the Neuralink for yaw, which was rudder, and it made it really hard to be steady to fire. Like, because when you yaw, your guns are actually sweeping left and right. So it changes your aim a lot. But roll, so the Neuralink, when I roll, it doesn't actually change the gun direction very much. So it's a lot easier to have fine control.
I guess so. Like you basically have two sets of controls, and they're funneling through the quad stick to get to your game.
Yes.
But in the future, like we could have a situation where like the inputs from the quad stick are going through the Neuralink to the game.
So there's a clip on that update, the big long one, where Harrison shows my neural inputs playing Call of Duty. And that's the Neuralink has 2 joysticks. So I was running, walking, and viewing with just Neuralink. And I was pretty decent at it. It just took quite a bit of calibrating to get it to that point.
So the other input.
I think I have it.
And those other inputs are from the quad stick? Or where are they coming from?
Nope. The quad stick wasn't part of that.
Okay.
Let's see. So this is, I'm using my wrist to run and move. And then I'm using my thumb to aim. There you can see this is all Neuralink, no quad stick. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess I had to like shift my paradigm because originally I was thinking you need 2 Neuralinks to have this type of control.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I mean, I guess I wonder what the limit is. You know,
it took a lot of focus.
Okay. Okay.
But like I said, it worked surprisingly well. Like you can see, I was able to use, I think I used index finger to fire, middle finger for aim down sights, and then pinky for reload. I think is what I had that one planned at.
I suppose the most comparable to like an able-bodied person would be like using one hand to like toggle both controls.
So what in my brain, like my left hand is always in joystick. If you just think of your arm on an armrest holding a joystick, that's usually what my hand feels like in my head.
Okay.
So then hold your thumb up and it's running another joystick on top of that. That's kind of what it felt like.
Okay. Yeah, pretty crazy. I wonder what the limit is. You know, it's like, could you actually
could have 3 or 4 joysticks?
Yeah. Yeah. And like a set of buttons. That would be.
So they've been practicing with 10-finger typing.
Yeah. Right.
One of the participants is doing really well at that. I don't type a whole lot. I use voice. I just get pretty good at using voice because that's way faster than I feel like I could type.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
there's always, so before any of this, I had to use my phone with just voice access, where like it's listening to you all the time,
Hmm.
and it is so frustrating. It's like you can't have a conversation, you can't. It's like you use your phone, and it was such a pain in the butt.
Okay.
There's a difference between that and talk to text.
Yeah, I
It's like
see.
you just hit the microphone on the keyboard, say what you want, hit it again, then it types it all out for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's literally the next interface after touch typing. It's like way more information transfer.
Efficient.
Yeah. 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 This is cool. I'm glad you showed, because I think, you know, I mean, there's probably people other than me too that are kind of struggling to conceptualize this.
All right, so then link quad stick off. But redundancy is super important to me. Like I want backups upon backups.
Okay.
So on, like I was saying, I wanted to be able to switch from my Mac to my Windows by myself. It's like every time if I wanted to use my quad stick on my Mac, I would have to have somebody unplug it and plug it in to, like I'd have to have them switch. And it's just frustrating. It's like I should be able to do this. So I designed this. So you can see the blue part on my quad stick. Like in my video call, there's a blue,
Oh yes,
that
yeah,
little blue square.
yes.
That's this piece. So my quad stick got kind of dropped and it broke that. So Fred sent me the file to print it, to fix it. So I printed the blue piece.
Yeah, that's
It
cool.
fixed it. So I took that one further. I was like, well, if I add this little side piece, I could add toggle switches that I can run with my mouth. So this is going to mount on this, and I'll be able to run those two switches. And so I will be able to go between the two computers.
Hmm. I mean, how big is the quad stick in volume? Like how many? Because like this guy Fred, he seems like really hands on and
He's
knows a lot.
he's awesome. Oh man, he's kind of an older guy, but his story, you really should look into that story of how he got started building these things. It's
Okay.
pretty incredible.
I guess you can't see my screen right now, but
Oh, sorry.
I just like looked up. No, that's okay. I was just thinking mostly for myself, but I just looked him up on X and yeah, I'll learn more about him. It's cool that he's willing to, really talk to the folks this is impacting the most.
Yep. It's awesome. I feel very fortunate that it happened when it did. I mean, there even like 10 years ago, there wasn't much. I mean, the quad stick was there, but it's like the leap forward that this has come just in the last 2 years.
I was thinking about this, like even just if there were no like real computers, like, I mean, none of this would be possible at all. It's like crazy how much things have progressed and helped to benefit so many people.
It's like the ramp at which technology is skyrocketing. I mean, you think back to the the Enigma machine, the big computer thing they used to crack the Enigma code, and how much computing power it had. And then now we've got supercomputers in our pockets.
Dude, it's insane. It's like constantly insane. Like no matter how many times I rethink about it, I'm still like in shock. And then now with all the AI stuff, like I play around with AI tools for creating videos and like scripting and image generation, audio generation. I know all sorts of little tools that are great. I mean, maybe this is not for, this is just literally to show you something that I saw that I'm fascinated by and astounded that AI can do this. I'll probably edit it out, but take a look at how crazy this is.
You might have to present yours.
Okay. It's literally just the first like 20 seconds of this video, and you'll see like how insane this is. My computer's so freaking slow. I mean, I saw that you have been talking to Sahej. I know Sahej a little bit and like met him at Brad's house. He's pretty great.
Oh man. So me and him, when we would get on a meeting, we would start a Spotify jam. And so me and him would be listening to the same music. And while I was calibrating, he would be able to change songs and cue in songs. It was so awesome.
Nice.
Spotify is really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so
okay. Yeah, this is the video.
What is an advert?
I don't know why my it's just literally an advertisement, like a short advertisement. Okay. So
now we can take a photo of any product that you want.
Yeah, so this guy, I mean, he goes through it, but basically this is an automation built with AI tools integrated. And basically all he does is takes this picture of this box in his hand, sends a message to Telegram, and it automatically generates this advertisement. So just like 20 seconds, watch this.
So now we can take a photo of any product that we want, give our agent a bit of a creative brief. And once we send this, it will trigger our automation. And once that's done, we get the video back to watch.
Introducing the new Nutri-Grain Chalk Malt, packed with 12.7 grams of protein, loaded with rich crunch. Fuel up and stay unstoppable. Taste the...
Dude, how crazy is that?
Wow. That seemed super, like, that's kind of scary.
It's so
that just seemed,
I
feel like that's what took teams of people to make back in the 2000s. Like that was their whole job, was to do that. And it probably took them weeks, months just to come up with a good ad.
Yeah, like
that's cool.
Even just like 2 or 3 years ago, you know, like to build something like that would be crazy. Now it's literally just this, like, I mean, it looks, I don't know, potentially a little complicated for some folks, but it's literally just like a flow diagram of going through each little step that he would have to do on his own, but now it's just automated. So like ChatGPT right here is just analyzing the picture that he took, and then it generates a prompt for creating like a more realistic video, and then it like stitches it all together. And it, I mean, it's just
did it check the web for information about the box?
I think so. I think it reads the image that was provided and then does a Google, like a search, a query. Yeah, like does what you're saying, like checks the web for specific information that would be relevant to use in the ad. And then obviously like the AI has to figure out how to present it and like what script to use and then what to voice over. But it's so, dude, it's so crazy. This was created 2 months ago or 4 months ago. I mean, and obviously like AI is progressing so quick. So 4 months is like an eternity.
one thing that I do not like is Spotify now has AI bands in Spotify. I don't know. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of them, but I haven't heard them.
So you can usually, I'll point one out.
Okay.
And when I first heard them, I was like, man, these guys sound really good. When I was trying to figure out like where they were from, if they were touring or anything like that.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, man, this seems kind of suspicious. They never show anything on their website. I Google them, nothing comes up. And it was very bluesy. And I was like, this is cool. Well, then, like, I just kept digging, and their songs are like all the same. And then I did a Reddit deal, and yeah, they're like, yeah, it's AI.
Wow.
But this is what it says. Like, I grew up on the Midwest.
Oh, wow. Oh, damn.
But it's like, it really robs it from the people that do it, like, do it and do it right.
Yeah. 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 I guess I personally don't really mind if there's like a lot of AI stuff as long as they're transparent about it. You know,
Yeah,
but,
it's like you seems kind of gimmicky not to disclose that that's what it is.
yeah.
So yeah, I stopped following
them. Yeah. I mean, I think it's tough because, you know, we can fight it so much, and then pretty soon, like, all the bands are going to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I feel like this is just, I feel like it's either Spotify or somebody that kind of put it out there. They did a good job because it does sound good.
Yeah. I had this one guy send me a rap that was about Neuralink, and I thought it was pretty darn good. It's crazy.
It's crazy how they could make it. They tie it together, and it actually sounds good. I wish I could write songs. I just got kind of, I dive more into lyrics nowadays. Seems like get more in depth and pay attention. And I don't know if you ever heard of the guy Todd Snyder. That's his name.
I don't think I have.
Very storytelling. Very funny. But he just passed away last the 15th of November.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, singer-songwriter pneumonia. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess just to dispel any myths or calm the naysayers down, did you experience any thread retraction issues?
Nope. Not that they told me, or not that I've noticed.
Okay. And do you know if you have any deeper insertion of the threads or any shorter threads?
I believe they went a little deeper on mine. I can't remember if Nolan's was 4 millimeters. I believe mine are 5.
I do actually recall them now that I'm talking about it. I recall them in one of the updates after Nolan's surgery. They said like they were going to go pretty deep. I think you're right. 4 millimeters sound right. And then for future surgeries, I think they were going to do a variety of depths depending on
alter.
I'm sorry.
Like altering how deep.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy that they can get that much information just 5 millimeters deep.
Yeah. I mean, literally insane. And then
I mean, because
okay,
8 millimeters is 5/16 of an inch. So it's not very much.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it was centimeter. I mean, centimeter seems like way too much. 4 centimeters. Yeah, that's too much.
And then, like, how do they get 16 sensors in that thread? And each of those sensors to stay isolated to get back up to the device.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this doesn't get talked about enough. Like, I feel like I need to make videos that show the very specific, like, design of the electrodes.
Yeah, just one thread. And
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it was really difficult to first realize that, hey, this is actually metal, but it's just so thin and so small that it can bend and look like a
fiber.
Yeah, exactly.
What's crazy is like fiber optic communication. Like all that is strands of glass. Fiber optic is just strands of glass. So if you shine, so when you shine light on one end of a strand of glass, that light just reflects inside that one strand.
Okay.
So when you flash it, you get a flash on the other side. So that's how they can transmit data through that, is because they can blink a light on one end and it'll blink on the other end.
I didn't know that. That's that's cool.
You should really look into fiber. It's so cool. It's
Okay.
like just made from sand. Heating sand up.
Yeah. I have always thought that glass was a little peculiar because, like,
weird.
Yeah, it's like an odd metal or odd material.
Did you know clear glass is a very recent design? Like we haven't had clear glass that long. Like we had colored glass for way longer before, and clear is very recent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Have you ever heard of Prince Rupert's drop? So there you have a big glob of glass and you just drop it into water and it makes this teardrop shape. And at that really teardrop, like the big thick part, you can hit it with a hammer and it will not break. But you crack the tail and it will shatter and explode.
Okay, I have seen this. I didn't know that that's what it was called, but it is crazy to see that. Yeah,
I watch a lot of cool YouTube videos.
Yeah, that type of stuff is really cool.
Yep, watch a lot. I'm very into like machining and we didn't really get into that. So I have a robotic arm.
Okay.
It's called an arc droid. Am I still presenting on my whichever one? So we're able to see it. Were you able to see it?
No, I don't know what I was. No, I wasn't.
Where'd it go? So can you see the?
Okay. Yes.
So this is a arc droid. This little red robot arm holds a plasma torch and is able to cut metal. So I designed the signs on Fusion, and then we upload that file to this robot, and it will cut whatever shape whatever shape we want out.
Yeah, nice.
It is extremely useful. We have made a lot of stuff with it.
Yeah. That is pretty sweet. Just to have, yeah, you custom build like almost anything.
Uh-huh. Let's see if I can pull up the big entrance. There we go. So I designed this in Fusion. It's a big pipe gate entrance for like a driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what it turned out like.
Dude, that's so sick. Isn't that so fun to like see it out in the public?
Uh-huh.
Something you created.
So this is his brand, like the cattle brand. It's a big skillet, and it's about 4 inches thick, and it's thick. So I designed the program to where the handle, like it started as a sheet, and we were able to leave like tabs, heat it up, and bend it into a square. So like all we had to do was bend it and then weld it up. It was so easy. But this is 8-inch pipe.
Wow.
And to get this to curve,
Yeah.
we made a cut halfway around the pipe every foot
Okay.
for 40, I think it's 42 feet. There's a cut every foot and then welded back up.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
And that's actually photoshopped. I photoshopped it. This is the real picture. Yeah, I took out the highline pole, all the electric poles, then I took out this bunch of bales. It is so cool how you can it's just nuts that you can do all that. There's so much cool things that I'm able to do. And then I got a, what?
Barbecue brisket, mac and cheese.
Sounds delicious. I got a DJI Osmo camera.
Okay, yeah.
And I use my Neuralink to film with it. So I'm able to move the camera. Have you ever seen an Osmo?
I think I have. I've seen some of the DJI cameras, but
It's just got a little camera on a gimbal that will let it pivot and go up and down. But I'm controlling it through an app on my phone. So
Cool.
I've got the Neuralink on my phone, and I'm dragging the camera around with the Neuralink.
okay. Oh yeah, I've seen this before. Yep. DJI.
Yep. It works pretty good.
Nice. It's pretty crazy how like you've basically been able to merge these two worlds of the most futuristic tech with being really hands-on and working on all these like trades types of skill sets that you've developed.
Yep. Always trying to learn something new.
Yeah. The people that you're in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, then I assume Neuralink is not like the talk of the town, really.
I've yet to be recognized.
Well, I guess you weren't. Yeah. Okay.
No. So I don't
But
know.
still, it is
Waiting for
crazy.
that day.
Yeah. um, I'm curious, like, what made you decide to like be a little more public than before?
I feel like I said, I feel like if I can inspire even just one person to,
Okay.
I don't know, maybe do something to change, maybe change for the better, it'd be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I know for Nolan, there's so many people that he's impacted in such a great way, and even a lot of the other future patients, including yourself, like you said. Just hearing his story makes it
Yep.
like much easier to apply and go on with it.
Yep. There's a lot to be learned. Just gotta go for it.
What are, I mean, we've kind of gone through this, so if you feel like you've already answered, then no need to answer again, but what are some of the wildest ways you've used the device?
Probably, I love flying the plane on War Thunder. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of the controls mimic my RC plane, and I'm the the possibility to control the plane with the Neuralink is there. I have not done it, but I could link it up to where I could control the plane through the quad stick and through my RC transmitter box and roll the plane in real life with my wrist. Yeah.
Should we play this video and then you can...
So I edited and made all the intros is it outro? But like the fades in and out, made it all with the Neuralink. But like now, I've got bombers, and I can change like the view. So you go from like the view of the pilot to the view of the bomber through the glass looking down, and on. I can show you. But like the view of the bomber, and in the bomber screen, you can see the pitch, like the roll of the aircraft. So like I'm looking through the bomber door and controlling the plane just through that window. It's so, I don't know. It's neat because you can still control the plane while looking straight down, not knowing where you're flying. It's so cool. I don't know why. I love planes. Went to a air show in Kansas City. Was that 2 years ago? I think. And it was in the middle of July out on that tarmac. It started at like 10. We were there for like an hour and a half, and I started overheating because like I don't know how much you know about like autonomic dysreflexia. It's in Neuralink, or not in quadriplegics. Like we can't, it's hard for us to know when something's going wrong. And so we'll start like getting hot, getting a fever, or getting lightheaded, things like that. So you have to go cool off somewhere. Well, there's not a lot of places to cool off in the middle of a tarmac.
Mm-hmm.
Is my big screen still there? All right, link quad stick on. All right, so the Neuralink is rolling the plane there, like that. And then there's the bomber view. And if I roll the plane, see how it's tilting that? The secondary little view there. But I'm still learning which way to control it.
Can you go back to the last view?
Uh-huh. So I'm using my wrist there to make sure the plane doesn't start falling out of the sky. And 0 is level.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, I can just drop bombs wherever, but I'll probably get shot down here in a second.
Okay. I feel like I finally get it.
But yeah, and then I'm dropping bombs.
Yeah, I see.
They should be blowing up here in a second. I was a long ways up there. I think I missed. But it's got like, so I've got a crew. You can see the turrets firing out of the side of the plane.
Okay.
It's like I need another joystick to run my camera. Because you should be able to look around to see who you're fighting.
Hmm.
Oh boy, I lost my aileron. Going down. But yeah, I really love this game.
Probably doesn't help that we're also making you talk while controlling it with your
Nah,
mouth.
it ain't bad. But it's pretty sweet because, like I said, I've gotten a lot better now. Like starting out, it took a long time to figure out what the best way to play, like the controls to get smooth. And then after I started getting a number of planes, like they only give you like one restart per plane per day. Like it took me a while to figure that out. Where I can have a bunch of planes.
Hmm.
Yeah. So much fun. And then you can drive ships, boats, or tanks. And yeah, that's my name when people see me.
Oh, nice. That's pretty solid.
That way they know.
Yeah. Do you ever play with other participants?
So, I play Farming Simulator a lot with my nephew and my brother. They live in Wyoming, and we get online and we have a map where me and him both play farm. It kind of takes us back because I remember playing like the original Farm Simulator when it was on a floppy disk.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that long ago. It was like 97 or 98. It was legit. We were like, this is cool. And then now it's like, all right, this is like realistic realistic. It's almost scary.
Yeah.
But like in Farming Simulator, the Neuralink controls my camera, so I can look around while I'm driving. I don't know if like laptop will handle both games.
Okay.
It says it is.
Both games and the video recording software.
Have you ever seen Farming Simulator?
Nope.
But like the amount of stuff you can do in here, it's like you got cattle, chickens, grain, hay. They get pretty in depth. But I mean, the ability to connect with anybody around the world. It's like my brother's clear in Wyoming. He's been there since 2010, and being able to actually play with him a couple days a week, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And like my nephews and nieces, like quad stick on. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode. But yeah, it's like each game has its own profiles. So like that one I needed. This is why the quad stick is kind of insane with how they designed it and made it work. I think it may have froze my computer. Oh well. But yeah, like Farming Simulator, underneath over there on the left side, you see where it says 10, 11, 12, 13. It says FS, PS5 2, FS, or Red Dead Redemption right here.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So each of those is a different profile. So like each game you can have set up differently. All these are saved on the quad stick.
I see. Okay. You got to remember all your controls. That's
And each profile you can set up completely different. So yeah, it gets to be a lot sometimes. Yeah, I think it froze on me.
okay. That's okay.
Link quad stick off. So link quad stick off. What'd you think of my computer setup?
Yeah, pretty sweet. You got a lot going on, a lot that you can do. It's kind of like your own.
So
I forget what it's called. Your station.
Did you see the first
Oh,
had
sorry.
was that first one didn't have the other computer on it, so that was just the Mac and the Windows. So there's the Windows and the Mac and the big screen. So the big screen's the big one's running off the Windows. I was trying to have my mom video. She's not really known for her videography skills.
Mhm.
Like trying to keep it in focus and all that. There's a better picture. So like me and my brothers, we designed pretty much the whole mounting system that mounts on my chair. And like everything's quick attach. So you just slide it on, slide it off.
Nice.
Yep. It works really well. Other than I want a way to switch the screen from the Windows to the Mac easily. That's why I put 2 switches on there. So eventually I can hopefully switch the screen with one and the quad stick with the other.
Yeah,
There's always a plethora of projects.
Yeah, I can see like all the things that you designed. It's so cool. You can design that stuff and create it for your own use
and actually show. That's the hardest thing. It's like before I didn't have a way to show people how I wanted something done. I had to try and explain it, and that never worked. So can you see the brown arm right behind me? It's kind of hard. So that arm reaches out over my bed. So we can have my laptop hanging over me and then swing it out of the way when we need to turn. We designed that as well.
Nice. Yeah.
Very, very glad they picked me.
Do you feel like you kind of went through at the beginning, like the assistive technology that's helped you and other paraplegics, but are there other assisted devices that were replaced by Neuralink?
So I tried the mouth stick that Nolan used, like where you just hold it in your mouth and tap buttons. And it's like I never really did it for me.
Okay.
I'd much rather use the quad stick. But the quad stick also has its limitations. You can't use it in a van. Like you can't use it going down the road. You will bite your lip and poke your lip more than you'd want.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could, because then I'd play War Thunder all the way to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Need to wonder if I can set this up in the van with the big screen.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, that would be a picture.
Yeah, right. Are there things that you wish the Neuralink could do that it currently can't?
So I wish it had more flexibility and freedom for like the programming side of it, like how I can with the quad stick. Like I love being able to customize and kind of make it my own.
Yeah.
As of like right now, so there's a thing called phone mode where when I say link phone on, it will go to my phone. See, like right now I'm on my phone, link phone off. But like when it goes to that, I can't alter what it does. So like it's limited to I have click and then click and hold. That's it. I don't have right click or zoom or anything like that on my phone. So like trying to read PDFs on my phone is the worst. So I have to go in through the settings and then increase zoom, and it's just feel like it's not very efficient.
Okay.
And then like I'd like another hookup to where I can connect my Neuralink to my Windows computer and run my Windows just like my Mac. Because I don't know if you're an Apple guy, but Windows, I'm a Windows guy.
Yeah. I've actually never owned an Apple device ever.
You're my type of guy.
But I mean, I do. It does seem like some of the stuff is pretty great. I feel like Google has been like the underdog, and it's great. I mean, dude, I
love Google.
What?
Yeah, I love my stuff too.
Love Google?
Yep.
Why?
Because superior.
Huh?
Safari wishes it was Google.
Did somebody hear?
Oh, my brother.
I'm just kidding.
He's giving me crap. He's an Apple guy.
Yeah, my brother's the same way. He loves Apple and always has.
No freedom. It's like you're locked in.
I feel the same way. I mean, man, I have a lot of. Yeah. I try to send like, every once in a while you just send a text that just says green bubble. That's the best.
I think the last Apple device I had was the iPhone 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's wow.
The iPhone 4 was iconic. I did think it was just the design. That was sweet.
What messages would you like folks to hear that you're speaking to? Like there are past, current, and future fans of Neuralink, the company and the technology, and also future trial patients. What are some things that you want them to hear?
That I feel like Neuralink is kind of paving the future, and it's a team that I'm proud to be on, and I feel like anybody that's in a similar situation that I am should go after the dream of being more and creating more, adding to the team.
Are there things that you would like to share more about that I didn't ask about, or things that
Not like, I feel like people kind of get stuck in their kind of narrow vision, and if they would look wider, there's problems everywhere that could be changed. And I feel like if people looked a little bit, they would see that there's improvements that they could make, and it's not always in like the most optimal spot, but it seems like there's always something out there that could be changed. And if you could make somebody's life better, it's always worth doing.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I feel like if I can, like I said, inspire just one person to try something new and reach out there, it'd be worth it.